To download any of my skate parks that I have uploaded, you're going to want to go to Online Team and then search Team Finder. And once that loads, you're going to go Team Name and you're going to type in Within the Shadows, all lowercase. So from there, you're going to want to go down to Search Teams. And it should load with the top result being the skate team that I created. You're going to want to click on that. And once the page loads, you're going to want to go over to Team Content. And on Team Content, you're going to want to select Team Parks. And here you're going to find a selection of 25 parks, which is the maximum amount that Skate 3 will allow you to upload. It's got a variety of arcade parks that I've made, tricklining parks that I've made, realistic parks, and even some mazes and Ninja Warrior parks that I've made that I feel encompass my best work. And I'll walk you through each of these just so you can see the content that's here, so you can decide for yourself whether you'd like to download it. Starting off in no particular order, we have my underwater Skate 3 parks, and this park's called Sunk. It features a sunken pirate ship that I made entirely out of rails in Skate 3. While there's not a whole lot to do with this park, it's pretty awesome and visually appealing. Moving on, we have Atlantis, which is actually the skate park that got me into rise skating back in the day when X7 Albert hosted a Park of the Week competition or something or other like that. I don't know. Anyway, one of my favorite parts of the park is this little tube in the upper left-hand corner. If you ride it just right, you'll do a loop. Up next we have Trench, which is actually my first underwater park. Despite the fact that it's a little older, I have revamped it, and it still skates really well, and personally I just think it's a lot of fun. If you drop into the trench just the right way, you'll actually do a loop. And of course, don't forget to say hello to the sharks for me. And finally, on our underwater park list, we have Deep Sea Skating, which is a little bit more vert kind of an underwater park. Anyway, it still skates pretty well, and I do enjoy skating on it. It has some nice scenery, a lot of things going on. There's actually a hidden room right under the main landing ramp. If you do a coffin, you can go under it, and there's a little red shark in there. Now moving on to mega type parks, we have Gangnam Style, which, okay, I know, really out of fashion, but I made this back in the day when Gangnam Style was a really popular thing, and this park is something that really got me big on the Rise channel, and I don't know, it was kind of a thing back in the day, so I want to have it uploaded. Also, if you hit these tubes right, it's a little tricky to get, but you can do this little tube transfer thing, and it's a lot of fun. A little tricky to get, but it's worth the shot. Then we have Mega Mini Golf, which is essentially a Mega Mini Golf course where you become the golf ball, and your goal is to just try to get through the course and get to the end and get into the, the golf ball holes. Then we have the Rise Skater Park, which is actually the first Trickline park I ever made. I sort of made it by accident, but yeah, it actually still works pretty well considering I didn't mean to make it as a tricklining park originally. There's this really cool cyclone thing I made out with these little circle pads. That's a lot of fun to ride. And I also I attempted to make a loop. It doesn't work the best, but you can still get it to work once in a while. Then we have the Rise Beats Park, which is another tricklining park. As you can see from this video, I'm not the best trickliner, but I've seen trickliners on these parks, and they can usually get some pretty cool stuff. There's also this tube off to the side, which I really like. It's another one of those loop tubes that I make, and I just enjoy loop tubes. I don't know. Then we have the Rise DZY Park, which I've actually personally never been a big fan of, but whenever I've taken trickliners here, they've always said that this is their favorite tricklining park, and they've got some killer clips on it, so I don't know. This is the Rise Mars Park, and as you can see, it's on Mars. It doesn't really function as well as a tricklining park like it was supposed to be, but it's just fun to ride and to be in Mars. This is the Crab Park, which I made as a prize for the winner of the 2013 Ninja Warrior that I hosted on my channel, which was my friend Crab. And it's got this really cool rail, which you have to do a dark slide on to complete. Actually, just a good tip for any of my rails, do a dark slide. You'll have a much easier time actually landing the whole rail. Oh, it's also got this awesome loop on it, which I think is the biggest loop I've seen in Skate 3.
I'm not sure, but it's the biggest one that I've seen. And then we have the Icy Park, which is probably my best mega park, in my opinion. It's got a really good trickline ramp. Again, I'm not the best at tricklining, but even I hit something decent on it. And the rail on this park, oh my gosh, it's so smooth. You just have to dark slide with the right amount of speed, and you go down this thing like butter. It is incredible. You have to try this. Then there's the Rise Taken Park, which is my take on a VIP all day style of park building. Anyway, as far as I'm aware, it has the first double loop ever in Skate 3. I actually did go on to make a triple loop eventually, but I just didn't end up uploading it because that park wasn't so good. So this is the Rise Rusher tricklining park, and this is the main ramp, but I think one of the best parts about this park is all the little side paths you can take, and there's a lot of things to explore on it. Again, sorry for my tricklining. Not only am I rusty, but I was a bad trickliner to begin with, and it just never really was my thing. My thing was park building. Oh, here we have the Rise Skating 30K Park, which I included pretty much because of these ramps, because I have these television monitors as part of the ramps. It was really tricky to get right, and it was a really cool effect in the end, and it was just something unique, and that's why I included it in the end. Then we have the Rise Nabsy Park, which is the last mega park that I included in my list for downloadable parks. And I kind of just included this one. It's an earlier park. It's not really a tricklining park. It's more of an exploring park. You probably know Rise Nobsy nowadays as the Duck Voice, and he was doing that whole Duck Voice thing back then, but it was before he was really popular with that. Anyway, there's this actually one cool tube off the side here that, depending on the speed you go down it, there's different paths you'll end up taking, so it's something fun to mess around with. So I included 3 of the Ninja Warrior maps from Ninja Warrior 2013 in the downloadables for parks, and this is the second Ninja Warrior 2013 map, Jungle. It's a lot of fun to just parkour around. When you get to the top of this waterfall, you have to coffin underneath. The course isn't over, and there's just some general rules like no Hall of Meeting, no cheating, and etc. for the challenge of Ninja Warrior, but you can look those up. Anyway, this is the 4th Ninja Warrior 2013 map. You have to do a little kick to get through that hole there. You have to do like a little Hall of Meat kick. You can make this jump, it's possible, and when you get to this wall, you just walk along it. That's how you do it. You don't have to use your skateboard. You just walk along that wall. And then finally, we will have the 5th Ninja Warrior map, which is Tower. And this one you have to climb up. And there's some challenging spots, which I'll just tell you about right here. You have to jump and walk on this rail and grind on this to get across. And then on this section here, you wall run up to get up that little wall. And of course, at the end, you actually are allowed the Hall of Meat for the first time here. You have to do a little fishy to get under the wall and complete the course to get to the button and be the Ninja Warrior from 2013. And for the first time ever, I'm actually releasing one of the mazes I've made to the public. Now, it does have some rules to follow, like no glitching and etc. But I've made about 30 different mazes, and they're all extremely complicated. But I think this one, Maze 19, is one that you should be able to figure out on your own. Though it does have a devious trick up its sleeve, just go into Park Creator and look at the map if you can't figure it out. Anyway, this park is called Lag, and essentially what this is about is I took the merge glitch and put like 50 objects of the same type inside of each other, and discovered by doing that, not only do you create lag, but you can no-clip through any of the objects you place in the park, like this ramp here. You'll see I just clip right through it. Anyway, it's just a little fun thing I wanted to release, and it'll actually kick any people with bad connection out of your lobby. So the section I saved for last is realistic parks, and this is because I'm not really well known for my realistic parks. I'm not the best at it, but I like to take a stab at it once in a while, and I have fun doing so. But my realistic parks do have a lot of flaws in them typically. Anyway, this is kind of an over-the-top realistic park. I wouldn't say it's necessarily realistic, but it's called Shadow's Factory, and it's fun to skate around in on hardcore mode. Again, not exactly realistic, but fun. This is called After Closing, so the idea is that you broke into the skate park after it closed. Again, not the best park, has a lot of flaws, has a lot of fun little stuff that you can try out on it though. It's just kind of difficult to get a flow going. I don't know, it's something you can check out maybe for a clip. I really like this one thing here where you can kind of transition during a grab. Then this is my only attempt at a recreation where I tried to remake the Huntington Beach Vans skate park. Considering the limitations of Skate 3, I think I did a pretty good job at it, but again, it's not perfect. Then this is probably my best realistic park. It's called Paradise Plaza. Again, not that great, but there's some fun stuff in it, like this little slide you can do there. I don't know, I really like that. But anyway, yeah, these are my parks, and you know, some of them aren't great, some of them were works in progress, but I think it really encapsulates everything that I've done as a park builder in one way or another. And there's a lot of good stuff on there, so I really recommend you guys check it out. And just thanks for the support through all these years. I'm kind of retired from park building in Skate 3, but who knows, if Skate 4 comes out, maybe I'll come back to build some parks in that. So I just wanted to upload my 25 best parks, or my favorite parks that really encapsulated a bigger sense of everything that I've done in Skate 3, because I have like 108 parks that I've made. I can't upload all of them. I'm limited to 25, and these are the ones I've chosen to share with you guys. So I hope you enjoy them. And again, if the Skate 4 comes out or something, that sounds like an awesome time. I'm sure I'll come back for that. But for now, you know, this might be it for Skate 3. Maybe it'll be a video once in a while, but I'm probably not going to be building any more parks or anything along those lines. So thanks for all the support, guys, and I hope you enjoy the parks.